Good morning to Philadelphia Life Center. Good morning to all of our visitors and friends. Here we are on Harvest Knock Sunday. And later on in the meeting, we will welcome all of our visitors who are here with us. Today is a very special day. And I'm really happy to see all of you who are here. Okay, make sure you all settle down in your homes. And we want everyone to participate in every single minute of the day. All right, so I hope that everyone is running on time and prepared for this morning. It's a very important part of our journey and of the journey of the entire Global Congress, some of whom have already conducted Harvest Knock because of their time zones. I've seen reports popping up already on the View of Our Workplace platform. I thought it would be good for us, before we go into the meat of the matter for Harvest Knock, for the eldership team and myself to reflect a little on the PLC 25th anniversary. I believe that will give us a good jump-off point into the Harvest Knock. Okay, so that will be the nature of our interaction today, and it will be a beautiful time. So I'm here with my wife, along with the Peaks and the Johns, and we'll be having about a half an hour interaction. Then we'll have the video review of the anniversary. Then I'll be making some announcements, and then we will go straight into the Harvest Knock. So I just want these good people, really appreciate our team of Elizabeth, Lloyd, and Vanessa, and John. Very core component in the structure of PLC, core components, and we're really happy you are here. I would like each and every one of you to give a short response on an individual level. What have impacted you the most during the anniversary celebration? I'll start with the Peaks and Angela and the John.
Okay. I think I'll take out something that came from the commendation, the apostolic commendation, that I think was a recurring theme throughout the anniversary. And it was a scripture that Dr. Woodruff referenced to describe Wesley when he said, when God found him and he encircled him, and he was with no foreign God. And that really impacted my heart powerfully. It's like God saw the integrity and the purity of his heart for God and God alone. And that thing activated God. And that is what allowed us to journey properly. So inside of that, and I heard that over and over again, all over the weekend. So for me, that was a major personal impact and very calibrating.
Very good. Right?
Okay, well, for me, there are a number of things as it relates to personal impact, but the issue of commitment was one of the highlights, I believe. And one of the things that came out of the session that was done about the burden of the Lord, it was one of the leadership sessions. I think that one had was particularly significant. So the issue of commitment, because I felt that the session, well, the anniversary, although the emphasis was on, it was called Looking Back for Forward Momentum. I think that it really had accomplished that, that a real, some divine energy was released into the community, and a recommitment, reposition. I felt like I was renewed and ready for the journey again.
Yeah, I felt that as well. A sort of a renewal of our commitment to the Lord and to the mandate which he has placed upon our lives as individuals and as a community. I felt that very, very strongly. That renewal, and I'm sure members of the community may be saying the same thing as well. Angie?
There were many things that impacted me, as Lloyd also said. But there was one thing that I would like to highlight this morning is the sense of family. that came across, not just here, where we were in Jamaica, whether we were online or present in this building. There was that real sense of family and unity. And one of the things that I noticed was that the presence of other cases who logged on and who came to celebrate with us even more cemented that sense of family and commitment. There was truly a sense of unity and oneness. And it brought about the reality of the fact that we are a part of a borderless community. And it's way beyond us what we can see with our natural eyes, but we can always sense it in the realm of the spirit. The next thing was the meeting, the ladies, and what everyone shared. They shared on different levels, they shared from their different experience, but we all could sense that togetherness, that oneness in the things they share. Everybody could relate to the things they share. Everybody got something from what was shared. And some people was just the sense of newness, the sense of family, the sense of togetherness was also felt in that meeting with the ladies.
Yeah. And I want to go back to the point which you made about that sense of being part of a borderless global community. I think that was really emphasized, the Lord just showing us what we're a part of. We're not just down here in Otrius or in our own spiritual space, doing our own thing, okay? But, we are a core part, we're a core community in a wider spiritual context. And we have a responsibility towards that spiritual context. Okay, and we had leaders from some of the other communities popping in. And that shouldn't leave us feeling arrogant. It should leave us feeling a sense of responsibility towards. I have to protect that. Okay, we have to play a protection. We have to present protection for that space which God has brought us into, that world. And I want everyone to see that and to appreciate that and to commit yourselves to that. Very, very important. Okay. Joy?
Yes, so echoing what you and Angela just said.
Yes.
One of the things I saw over the weekend, it was our anniversary, but it was the Congress anniversary.
Yes.
I mean, the participation of everyone. Generally, you don't have that out there. I mean, those of us who have been out there know that you can't just go and take over somebody's, quote unquote, take over somebody's anniversary like that.
Yeah.
And it was just seamless. It's like everyone belonged here. And what it really emphasized for me is the reality of how we are as a core community.
Yes.
Inside of the Congress. And we can't take that lightly. But something that David Francis Cobb said in his message, looking back or looking with the burden of the Lord, one I think he said is that we have to know the weight that we carry.
Yes.
And that came out over the weekend. I mean, all the different sessions, the women's session, Pastor Wingrove session, how we are being admonished to do the things, continue on the path that we are, so it really emphasized the reality of the core community that we are, and we can't take that lightly. We can't take that lightly. So that's one of the main things for me.
Very good. Andre?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. For me, it was the fresh, powerful deposit of the presence of the Lord. I was just saying to Joy that next month will be about 36 years, since I'm serving the Lord. And I have never felt the presence of God like how I felt it over the weekend. And the thing about it is that it wasn't just for one meeting.
Yeah.
For me, it was at every single meeting. But what I noticed is that for, every meeting was like a trajectory going up, just up. There was no depleting or going down or anything like that. And so that really impacted me. And so that said to me that, it shows God's love. It shows that, as a community, we are doing something that pleased the Lord. And so, yeah, that really, really stood out to me, the rich deposit of the presence of the Lord,
Yes.
over the whole entire weekend.
Yeah, excellent. And I'm telling you, I was mentioning this, someone that, you can do all the hard work and prepare for an event, but if the presence of the Lord don't show up, then it's worth nothing. Okay, and to me, I appreciated that God's presence was the most precious, vital component during the weekend. And I heard a lot of people talking about the uplift of the Holy Spirit. People were not sitting on Monday morning. A lot of people were saying, I'm not tired. People physically felt the uplift of the Lord. So I thought that was really, really excellent, and we should not take that for granted. Can you, some of you sort of touched a little bit already, but can you share one significant aspect of the weekend which you think will play a very important role in our development as a kingdom community? I will come from Andrew and go right back. Right.
Yeah, well, as Wesley said, some of us touched it already. For me, looking back for forward momentum and the teaching that was done by David Francis Cup, he said that when we look back and we look at our lives and we see all the difficult things that we went through,
yes.
We were able to put true meaning, to the whole thing, and to realize that God was with us,
yes.
Way back then. So when we look back, we must see God. And so to me, that brought like deliverance. It brought a lot of strength. It brought development, inside of the community. And I noticed by talking to the different saints, we heard this actually coming out. So that to me, that the theme, looking back for forward momentum, I believe that was a theme actually sent by God, yes, because it really, as I say, brought development within the community.
Yeah, that was definitely from the upper room, that focus for the weekend. Yes, Joy?
Yes, same for me, because when David Kopp said that, I was immediately transported back to how I grew up.
Yeah.
All the things that I went through from a child until now. And I saw how, Scott Webster said this years ago, 2002, when he came to Milford Road, where we had just gone over, and he said, God is not a travel agent.
Yes.
He doesn't take you from one place to the next. He will take you all over just to bring you back to the place you start so that you could go forward.
Yes.
And I heard that clearly when David Kopp said that, And looking back, I see how the way I grew up, how it was relevant for now.
Yeah.
I mean, before you keep wondering why you had to go through that, but now I can look back and see how that helped. So that team was really strategic, and it was just God who did that. And Dr. Woodruff also mentioned it, looking back, and he looked back also on Elijah Center,
yes,
how it started,
yes.
So I really do believe that God sent that team.
Yeah.
And it really helped to develop and, just erase some things that we carry like as baggage from before, settle them. It was worth it. Now we are here. Now we can move forward with strength,
yes.
So that's what was in my mind.
Yeah, it's amazing how many persons share that same experience, how God took them back to where, how they grew up or when they got saved. A lot of people had that experience over the weekend. So the Lord was dealing with every single individual, and that's really a beautiful thing. Angie?
Well, for me, I will mention the message by Dr. Woodruff, and the way his secondary leaders or the people he lead within this wide Congress. He doesn't spend a lot of time with Wesley per se, especially only maybe see him if they have like a meeting somewhere far away. And in those meetings, you don't get a lot of time to spend with him because he's always in a quiet place, just speaking the mind of the Lord. But he knows, and he knows what is in the heart of those who are around him and those he relate to. And it just goes to show that we also should seek to know the heart of our leaders. It's case of follow me as I follow Christ. You know, when he described his character as a leader and how it should be and what he has gained from his relationship with him and what he can see, you know. So it's something for us as a community to look into more closely, because as it is said, you can't go beyond your leader. Your leader should always be 10 steps ahead of you, and you're the one who is following in those steps to gain what is on the leader. So that was one of the things that really I came away with, from that weekend.
Excellent. So we're looking at significant aspects of the anniversary weekend, which will be very key to the development of us as a kingdom community. Lloyd and Vanessa.
My apologies. Yes, I think we saw the technology of how to manage the burden successfully.
Yes.
It exploded for me in that scripture when Wingrove Spencer shared on the scripture of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Yes.
And what stood out to me is Jesus also had difficult moments in managing the burden.
Yes.
But his technology of managing the burden successfully was prayer.
Yes.
Was prayer. I saw the whole episode in the Bible differently when I saw the disciples, all of them ran. And I realized when Jesus had asked them, come and pray with me, he was setting them up to be prepared to carry the burden that they had to carry as well.
Yes.
But because they didn't hear it and understand it well, they couldn't manage a burden. And so when the burden really dropped, they ran. And that was a theme right through. So the importance of persistent and insistent prayer in allowing us to navigate the burden successfully to the end, that's a mighty takeaway for us as a community as we move forward.
Yes, that renewal of engaging in manner of prayer for our community, which was in place from day one. I was really happy that was highlighted and underlined by the Lord over the course of the weekend. No, looking back for momentum, it's beautiful. Lloyd?
Well, for me, I am thinking what the anniversary celebration did was actually refocus the community.
Yes.
And basically reposition the community and calibrated it in preparation for our next phase.
Yes.
So that's what I felt. It was a refocus, rejuvenation, and calibration in preparation for the next phase. And it reinforced some of the things that we would have heard before, but also it's like we're being re-energized and prepared for the future. One of the things that I'm remembering, Wingrove Spencer actually talked about something that is happening at Precision Center, emphasis on insistent and persistent prayer.
Yeah.
And that is something that I think is a part of that whole reconfiguration process. And it applies not just to prayer, but just in terms of, reposition for activation for the future. Because, interestingly, coming out of it, I was telling Vanessa, I was thinking that, to me, it kind of marked a movement to a change in the season. Even, I think COVID and so on probably kind of brought, just generally, people into a sense of a lull, but, I just felt like it was a real preparation to shift gears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. So good comments from Lloyd there, which will move us to the third question I want to discuss. How did this celebration prepare us as individuals and as a community for this morning's Harvest Knock that is taking place around the world? Okay, and Lloyd spoke about movement and new season. So Andre?
Well, I want to pick up exactly from where Lloyd left off, because that's exactly what it did. You know, the weekend to me, as much as it was a time of, you know, God downloading and doing a lot with us, it was really a time, you know, of preparation, you know, towards Harvest Knock. And so that's the best way that I could actually explain it, that how God moved among us as his people, how God, how we look back and how he strengthened us. You know, to me, all of those things, all the messages and everything to me was just a form of preparation to where we actually going today. Yeah. It's the best way I can explain it.
Very good. Joy?
Yeah, I just feel like God set us up.
He sneaked up on us.
Yes, that word. He sneaked up on us, you know, and rightly so, because here we are.
Yes.
For today, for Harvest Knock.
Yes.
You know, and that what that did was just settle us. You know, if we were all over the place, it settled us and gave us a, you know, like a foundation to stand on. So here we are at Harvest Knock.
Yes.
And before, all the little things that were out there to fix, yes. Do this, do that, set your place, set yourself steady, be still. Because I remember Dr. Woodruff talk about thoughtfulness. Yes. You know, be still. Yes. Because we are going into a new phase. What the weekend did, what I hear in my mind, is that it brought us to a point and gave us the deluge of grace to go forward. Yes. For today. Yes. That's what I hear. Yes. You know, so weekend was very strategic.
Beautiful. Andre?
One other thing I can say, it has certainly silenced the noise around us, and it has caused us to be more focused. Wingrove spoke on prayer twice from different perspectives, and I think it has also freed us to be prayerful before the Lord for this weekend. A lot of people was really focusing on what it is to be ready for an harvest and what an harvest should be, and the part and the role they should play in reaping and harvest. Another thing is that we are more prepared and we have been praying into the results we are expecting. The level of our faith has been lifted, you know, and more people are really believing for miraculous things as we go forth for and embrace in gathering. Yes. And I also believe people have prepared themselves to really be a sanctuary for the in-gathering and for those who will come. You know, our lives has been to that place where we can freely open our doors. And I'm not talking more like physical doors, but our spirit has been released, has been freed to embrace what it is God will bring our way.
Very good. Excellent.
Well, I could easily say ditto.
Yes.
Because this...
Well, it did say ditto.
Because this was like a master stroke. He really, I think it was said a couple of times, God snuck up on us in the weekend. We said anniversary and God had preparation for the road ahead, and the theme, everything has just stilled the noise, as Angela said. We are in a much better place to hear and to do and to follow. Yes. And it has settled us, as Joy said, and God has our full attention. Yes. I don't think we will miss if a raindrop fall because of what God did in repositioning us.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Don't know if I can say anything else.
You should always talk before Vanessa.
Yeah, but I think it was really a significant time, and I just one of the things that I think was consistent throughout the anniversary celebration was the fact that everything was just integrated. Like God was behind everything, and everything just came together. What each person who spoke said was completely aligned with what the other person said, and everything just aligned with even our movement towards the knock. Yes. So to me, coming out of the anniversary celebration is a really new sense of commitment and just readiness to move forward. So,
yes,
I guess we just have to get ready for action.
yes, yeah. I'm listening to your comments and observing the whole weekend. Okay, excellent comments, guys. My mind goes back to that prophetic word which Carla Peterson spoke about. God setting this community as a city on a hill. You remember that part of the prophetic word? I feel like a repositioning and a new profiling of the community has taken place. And we have to, that's not, as I said before, not to make us arrogant or anything, but to be more responsible. Everyone have to take up responsibility and take up load, and God has expanded his trust on us. Okay, during that deluge of grace which took place during the weekend, he has increased his responsibilities like a child growing up. And the parents saying, okay, now you're a bigger kid now. This is your responsibility. You're gonna start preparing, helping to prepare dinner on Sunday. You're gonna start helping here and there, and you can drive the car now. Stuff like that. And so we have to understand the trust of God, and let us not be individuals or a community who will let God down. We want God to be proud of us, to be happy with us. Let us protect the apostolic grace which have been downloaded in our midst, and let us make full use of that grace. So it will not be said that we have received the grace in vain. We want to carry back the increase. We want to carry back relevant productivity. We want to offer ourselves unto the Lord in a new way. So it was really great. And let us move forward with power into this morning's harvest knock and receive all that God has for us.